Alright guys, welcome back to Star Wars Review. Today I am reviewing Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi Part 5, which is directed by Deborah Chow and written by Joby Harold and Andrew Stanton, and was released on June 15th, 2022. So yeah, I liked the episode. I definitely liked it more than the fourth episode. I'll say I liked the first three a little more than this one. There's just a few problems I have with this one. But there was still a lot I liked. We get flashbacks in this episode, which was, it's cool to see those flashbacks, but I also really liked how they're incorporated into the actual current, day story. So, yeah. A few of the problems I had was I thought the pacing was a little off in the episode. Not terrible, but there's a few moments where I'm like, this could have been, because it's kind of, some moments are fast, some moments are slow. It's just there's something off about the pacing, and at least in my opinion, I don't know, something off. But one thing, it's not very long. It's maybe like a minute long action scene, kind of in the middle of the episode. It's terrible. I hated it. It's so much shaky cam, and there's so much blasters going off and whatnot. Obi-Wan's lightsaber also, which, if it wasn't shaky cam, it would have been a great scene, because we see Obi-Wan kind of, in a really Jedi outfit, using his lightsaber again. Cool moment. It's so incomprehensible. I couldn't tell what was going on. It's so fucking shaky. It was a bad scene, and I hated it. So that's really my only major problem with the episode, was that scene. It was so bad. I just couldn't tell what the fuck was going on. This has been a problem for the entire series so far. The use of shaky cam is definitely in action scenes is it's stupid in my opinion, and it was really bad in this episode for that one scene. But maybe I'm just overreacting a bit, but I just don't like it. So yeah, I just didn't really like that action sequence, which I've said before. The action has kind of been more this episode or this series so far. There was a cool Vader action sequence in the episode, but which I'll get into more in a little. But outside those two problems I had, I did enjoy a lot of the episode. Like I said, those flashbacks were cool. We finally get to see Hayden Christensen fully back as Anakin Skywalker, which the main flashback we see is shortly before Attack of the Clones, as Anakin and Obi-Wan are wearing their Attack of the Clones outfit, have the same hairstyle, so have their lightsabers from early in Attack of the Clones. I would assume it takes place not long before Attack of the Clones, but honestly, it could take place shortly after Attack of the Clones, but because they are using the lightsabers from what we see them use early in Attack of the Clones, we know it's before, because Anakin's gets destroyed and Obi-Wan's, I think, just gets lost, and they never see him use that one again. So I think so. I don't know what the lore is on Obi-Wan's. I think it's technically second lightsaber. We see him use early in Attack of the Clones. But the flashback is of them, dueling in the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. We see them going at it. Anakin knocks Obi-Wan's lightsaber out of his hands, but Obi-Wan is still able to beat him by, just dodging and using the Force, and eventually being able to pull Anakin's lightsaber out of his hand. But Obi-Wan, tells him that, if he wasn't so focused on showing off, he wouldn't still be a Padawan, which, kind of leads directly into the moment after the flashbacks end. The episode starts with the flashbacks, and throughout the episode we kind of start to get more bits and pieces of it. And that last part when Obi-Wan defeats Anakin and leads right into a lightsaber battle just not really a lightsaber battle as much. I guess kind of, a battle between Vader and Reva, which I'll get into how that it leads up to that moment later, but I just want to talk about this battle. We see Vader, just beat Reva without even igniting his lightsaber. by just using the Force and dodging, just like Obi-Wan did to him earlier. Eventually, he does take Reva's lightsaber and kind of, splits it in half and gives her the one, and, he uses the other, and still they kind of, fight each other, but he's still able to easily beat Reva there, by eventually taking her other half of the lightsaber out of her hands again, and, then he uses to stab her kind of in the chest area. It seemed more like to the side, because, and I say that because it seems like Reva won't end up surviving this, and also, we get Order 66 flashbacks of Reva seeing Anakin, and it seems like Anakin stabs her then too, which, once again, I'll get into that more in a moment. But, I enjoyed how the flashback played into this fight, and kind of also with how Obi-Wan, thinks throughout the episode about Vader, because, when the Empire's come down on Jabim, and he, Obi-Wan kind of remembering the flashback also, Obi-Wan knows, that Vader will just kind of attack them and not, I guess, pick them off slowly. So, I enjoyed how the flashback was implemented in that. That Vader and Reva fight scene was pretty cool. It's maybe a little over choreographed, but I still really enjoyed it. Also, one thing with the flashback scenes, obviously, Hayden and Ewan look a lot older. It doesn't seem like they use any de-aging CGI on them, which I'm kind of fine with it. No matter what, when you do a flashback scene, when actors are playing their characters much younger than what they actually are, it's always going to look weird no matter what, if it's CGI, makeup, or just actually showing them old. But it's supposed to be playing younger versions. So, even though definitely with Hayden, you could tell he's not a, he's like supposed to be like 18, 19 in Attack of the Clones, so, or maybe even 17, around that age, he's, you can tell he's a 40-year-old man, not that old. It's more, he just has more wrinkles on his face than he did when he's, in his 20s, when he did Attack of the Clones. So, obviously there's that. But, like I said, I'm honestly kind of fine with it. No matter what, it's flashbacks or something. You're going to be kind of taken out of the scene when the actor, looks older or kind of looks weird because of CGI. I've, thought even the de-aging CGI, it's usually used better than when they do a CGI recreation of a human. I just, it's still honestly kind of weird looking, so I'm kind of fine with it, how they did in this. So yeah, but like I said, also there's Order 66 flashbacks, which you see Anakin in that too, which obviously is also older in that also. But the Order 66 flashbacks were more about Reva, and we kind of start to get more of her motives and whatnot. In the episode at the start, we see her on the Star Destroyer talking to Vader, telling him that Obi-Wan is arriving on Jabim, and we see Vader promote Reva to Grand Inquisitor, and so they started an attack on Jabim, and heads down to the base and starts shooting at the door and whatnot. But before that, we obviously get a lot of moments with Obi-Wan, Leia, and the rest of them arriving back on Jabim. We learn that Haja Estri has went to Jabim, and we see him there. In the entire moments, they're kind of just them playing, an escape and whatnot. There was one scene with Obi-Wan where he finds some more, words and names etched into the wall. He finds some lightsabers and a Jedi cloak, which he starts to wear in the episode. And, obviously they learn about the Star Destroyer coming into orbit and whatnot. And they, kind of have to get everyone ready and whatnot. We see Lola go in, and because, she's mind controlled by, Reva right now. She goes into the vents and cuts some wires so the hangar door hatch thingy, can't open. And so Roken has to fix it, which we see Haja suggest, going into the vents to figure out what's wrong, which Roken says, obviously he's too big for that, but, so Leia volunteers to go up there, and, that's pretty much all she does this episode, is fix some wires. Takes forever, but, she, obviously does, but that comes later in the episode, but, we see Obi-Wan kind of start become a leader again and kind of give everyone a plan and whatnot. So they reinforce the entrance to the base, and we get a moment where Obi-Wan kind of walks away and tells Haja to look after Leia, but Obi-Wan gets a message. Well, he's walking away because he's getting a message on his comm device, which we see him kind of go privately and listen to the message, which is from Bail. Who's worried that he hasn't gotten any updates and worried if Vader has found out about the kids. And so he tells Obi-Wan that he's going to head back to Tatooine to make sure, Owen and Luke are safe. But in that moment, we see Talia walk in and talk to Obi-Wan. She tells him how she was actually a part of the Empire before, but had to kill, I guess, seemingly some Force-sensitive people, including kids, which, led her to the life she lives now with the path and whatnot. But anyways, like I said, Reva and also some purge troopers and stormtroopers start the attack on the base, shooting at the entrance what Obi-Wan's and the rest of them have reinforced. And so, Obi-Wan tries to buy some time, and he kind of goes up to the door and reaches out to the Force, and Reva comes up too, and kind of see them talk, and we learn about, how Reva knew that Anakin was Vader, and or Vader was Anakin, and she tells Obi-Wan Obi-Wan kind of figures out that she was there at the Jedi Temple during Order 66, had an encounter with Anakin, and she tells him how she pretended to play dead while all of her friends died, and this is kind of when we learn what her her full motives are, which it seems that she's not just hunting Obi-Wan, but also Vader. We see her kind of blame Obi-Wan for, letting Vader do that and whatnot. And there's a few nice moments there. But, I would also assume she's going after Vader to gain Vader's trust so she can take him out when he's least expecting it, which, there's more into that with the fight we see with them later. But after a little bit, Reva doesn't want to, hear about what Obi-Wan's saying anymore, and so she kind of cuts open the door and starts the attack on the base, which is when the one active scene I was talking about happens. There's just so much shaky cam and blasters going off, and, it just didn't work for me. There's way too much going on. Honestly, it's mainly the shaky cam was the problem. I kind of wish it wouldn't use shaky cam, but it is what it is. But all this leads to the death of Talia and NED-B also, which we see, Talia kind of just stand behind, she's in the back, in the front, I guess, actually shooting them, and she gets shot, and then NED-B gets shot and falls on her, and Obi-Wan's there, kind of like trying to save them, but Talia, says no and pulls out a thermal detonator and then shoots the door, locking it so Obi-Wan can't come out, and then obviously the thermal detonator goes off and kind of pushes the, Reva and the Imperials back a little, and so they, head back outside, wait, and, I guess plan a little more, but, now they're all backed up into the hangar area, and so Obi-Wan has to come up with another plan, so he gives all his blaster, lightsaber, and a little comm device to Haja, and tells them basically if this goes wrong, you'll have to deal with Leia now. So he leaves the hangar and goes outside and surrenders himself to the Imperials, so he can do some more stalling and talk to Reva a little, which he kind of gets her to agree to working together to go after Vader, because obviously Obi-Wan learned that she's really in it to mainly go after him, and so she agrees to it and makes the stormtroopers take Obi-Wan back inside and inform Vader of Obi-Wan's capture. And so Obi-Wan comes down to the planet, and kind of talks to Reva, but Obi-Wan breaks free from the stormtroopers, and everyone has to rush into the ships and whatnot, as Leia finally gets the hangars open and whatnot. And so when they're all rushing towards the ship, Haja drops the comm device Obi-Wan gave him. And so, they're all back in the ship, and Vader down on Jabim, like I said, talks to Reva, who tells him Obi-Wan is inside. So, he's mad as hell, rushing through the base, sees that Obi-Wan isn't there, and kind of rushes to the hangar as the ship takes off, and uses the Force to grab it and pulls it down back into the hangar and starts ripping it apart with the Force. But he learns that ship was a decoy, and the real ship takes off and gets away. And so, he's kind of just standing there, and that's when Reva, ignites her lightsaber and goes after him. But, a cool moment, he uses the Force on it to stop it, and then, that's when this, battle happens. I do like it. Like I said, it was maybe a little over choreographed, but it still was cool. I liked him easily winning, and, not even igniting his lightsaber was cool. But, he reveals to Reva after he's won that he knew all along what her plan was, and that, she was that youngling at the Jedi Temple. He, I guess, maybe stabbed there, because when he stabs her, in the present, kind of get a flashback of Anakin maybe kind of stabbing her at the Jedi Temple back during Order 66. But then the Grand Inquisitor comes out and reveals himself that, he's still alive. Obviously, I knew all along that he was surviving, as he appears in Rebels, which takes place after this. So, it really wasn't shocking, but I do like that, it was a thing in this series, and they revealed it in this episode, which, I kind of really want a, Grand Inquisitor series with Rupert Friend playing the role, because I really liked them in those first two episodes, and this little scene here, I actually, once again, really liked them. Obviously, the makeup and whatnot for the Grand Inquisitor isn't, like, super, accurate to what he looks like in Rebels, and what the, pawns look like in Revenge of the Sith. So it's like, it is a lot. He looks a little goofy, but, I feel like if they give him his own series where he's the main character, and, they can update it a bit, but, I really like the moment where they're just kind of, him and Vader just, dogpiling on her, just, is a great moment, but, they, all leave, and Reva is, still hanging on to life there, and, she sees the, comm device Haja dropped earlier, and kind of picks it up, and is able to hear, some of, Bail's message, which you can't really hear much about it because the comm device was destroyed, but we hear, Bail talk about the kids, Owen, and Tatooine, and so the episode ends with, Obi-Wan and Roken talking to Obi-Wan about how the, hyperdrive is busted and the Imperials are right behind them. And kind of see Obi-Wan then sense something wrong, which, he brushes off as nothing. And so then we get some shots of the Lars homestead and Luke sleeping, and that's where the episode ends. So yeah, but like I said, I thought it was a good episode. Like I said, my own problems was that one actually, was a little, like, kind of bad, and the pacing was a little off, but I wouldn't say it was terrible, and I will say also this episode, kind of, Obi-Wan isn't given as much to do in this episode, but, it definitely was a big episode for Reva, definitely really fleshed her character out a lot, because, throughout the first 4 episodes, we kind of just didn't know as much. Obviously, I kind of, was able to pick up some pieces, but, it was nice to kind of fully learn what her motives were and whatnot. But, yeah. And, I assume the next episode will be, Obi-Wan and Vader's big rematch. And probably, maybe Obi-Wan and Reva having a lightsaber battle, as it seems like she's probably going to go capture Luke on Tatooine. So that's interesting. Or try to go to Tatooine. That's what it seems like they're alluding to. So yeah, but I enjoyed, obviously the flashbacks I really liked, and how they were incorporated into the present day story, and not just a flashback to do a flashback. I enjoyed, basically everything else about the episode. So yeah. Also, this is really the first time I've really noticed this. The series hasn't used any of the music from the original or prequel trilogies, which I've actually find kind of weird. It's all been original music. Obviously, John Williams created a new Obi-Wan theme, which I've definitely recognized that. But outside of that, I really can't pinpoint any new themes or music or whatever from the score in this. Like, kind of just been a just like a odd score so far. Like, because when Vader appears in this episode, when he's rushed to it, like, I was expecting his theme to play, and also there's been several times where the Force theme probably would have played, but they haven't been using any of the really old original trilogy or prequel trilogy music. It's all just been original music from this series so far. So that's it's kind of odd, actually. And the like I said, I haven't really noticed any new pieces of music that have really stood out to me too much so far in the series. But yeah. Anyways, this episode, like I said, I enjoyed it. Not my favorite of the bunch, but still definitely a bounce back after the fourth episode. So yeah, but my grade, I'm gonna give this one a B+. So yeah, but anyways, that's gonna be it for this one. Next week is the I guess seemingly series finale of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. So you can check that out, and I'll have a full series review out of it soon after that. So yeah, but anyways, I've been Stars View, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
The fight is done. We lost. Stay hidden.